Welcome to Literary Gumbo, a continuing look at the world of writers, writing, publishing, anything with a piece of paper, anything that even sounds like it might be something. My name is Fred Klein. I'm the chief stirrer. And my guest today is actually one of a co-author of a novel, Michael Baiuth. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you very much.
And hidden in the studio is your co-author, Kim Klein.
Yep, she's right over there.
Welcome. They both have a very interesting, provocative new novel.
Yeah, and after we met, she was telling me about, I said, so where'd you grow up? And she started telling me about this island called Kwajalein. I said, what? I've never even heard of the island at that point. And the more she told me about it, that is this little 1/2 mile wide by 3 mile long island out in the middle of the Pacific. I mean, 2,500 miles from anything, that the kids had tremendous freedom. This was 1969. And I said, it sounds like a great backdrop for a Steven Spielberg movie, on a missile base where there's a lot of secrecy, and then the kids are free. And there's in 1969 during the Vietnam War. I said, oh my gosh, tell me more.
Now tease the story.
Well, 6 teenagers in 1969 get transplanted to this island.
So that's 3 girls and 3 boys.
Yeah, roughly. I think there were 4 girls and 2 boys.
I think.
But they were transplanted to this island, and they're
in what period again?
This is 1969, and the backdrop is the Vietnam War. One of the boys has a brother who's leading the protests at Berkeley. And they start asking questions about, what do they do at that missile base? And, I think they test nukes. What? No. Yeah. And guess what? A lot of other nuclear stuff.
But wait. But that's ultimately revealed. But first, they're just growing. Sure. They're just growing up.
Yeah, they're not sure. And so they start talking about. They hear through the grapevine.
The girls are experimenting. The boys are
experimenting. Come on. There's a military sexual predator that's kind of in the wings, who's kind of like preying on one of these girls in the group, and there's one of the girls falling in love for the first time, and so we're dealing with these issues that young people,
it's a coming of age.
Coming of age, very much. But the more research Kim and I did on this, the more it became a think piece. It really did, because we started uncovering this true life history. I mean, this is a fiction novel, but there's a lot of real life history that's in this, Fred, and it's really daunting and scary to think that a lot of people don't know about this history.
And why don't you tell? Because this is history. This is U.S. history.
This is true.
And this is absolutely true. Now tell them what's behind the whole thing.
After World War II, the United States tested 65 nuclear bombs.
65 nuclear bombs.
Over a 12-year period
in the Marshall Islands.
In the Marshall Islands area. And
that's South Pacific.
This is the Pacific. This is out in the Pacific Ocean, and not too far from from these islands where these kids are living on Kwajalein. But they start learning this and going, wow. They befriend their history teacher, and they start asking him questions. And it's a very controlled curriculum, even in the high school.
Because he knows he can't talk.
He can't talk about too much,
or else he'll lose his job.
But he identifies with these kids because that's how he became a history teacher. He had a thirst for knowledge. They have a thirst for knowledge. And he wants to give them, he relates to that. So he secretly takes them out to a neighboring island where some of these Marshallese people still live. And they talk about these radiation effects that they endured for years afterwards, which were from some of the nuclear testing out there. There was like fallout that actually covered up several islands, Rongelap and several others. And the Marshallese were left there for a couple of days before they were rescued. So they thought it was snowing. And they didn't know, they'd never seen a nuclear bomb. They didn't know what fallout was. And the effects of the radiation over a period of years, these Marshallese women had referred to them as jellyfish babies. Babies with no bones and transparent babies. It was horrible. But in their culture, if you were a Marshallese woman that had a deformed child, it meant you were disloyal to your husband. So it was hushed up. And they were buried quietly, and nobody talked about it. And the government went, oh, how convenient. And so consequently, a lot of this is not real well known. We started researching it and we went, oh my gosh, this is so much bigger than a coming of age movie or a coming of age book. So we wrote the screenplay first and then the novel second. So these kids do a protest where they break into the missile base and scale one of the missiles with a can of spray paint. and it leads to
Shocked, yeah.
devastating circumstances, but it brings awareness to the entire youth population on the island, and it's a really wonderful story about these kids who have this need to like make a difference. The biggest test of the 65 nuclear bombs that they dropped over the 12-year period was the
Yeah.
Bravo test.
Yeah.
It was like 15 times more powerful than they thought it was going to be. It was the largest nuclear accident, and even though it was intentional, it was much bigger than they ever planned on. It was the largest nuclear accident in the United States history. And so March 1st, this year, March 1st, is the 60th year anniversary of the Bravo test.
This coming
March 1st is 60 years, and that's why
Oh, gee.
9 Degrees North is the name of the book, and that's why you should read about it and know about it and make sure that this kind of a thing never happens again in the history of
What are we
mankind.
going to do about March 1st? We got to do something with March 1st.
Well,
it's
Kim
March.
and I came up with an idea calling it Illumination Day. And we want to make a holiday, not a holiday, but a day of remembrance. And I think a lot of people look at it and they just go, wow, this happened during the war. This was the U.S. pounding their chest after World War II ended, going, look how powerful we are, don't mess with us. And going, hey, we want to use your island, Bikini Island, to blow off an atomic bomb just to warn the other countries and let them know how powerful we are and to end war forever in the name of ending war forever. And the Marshallese, they didn't know what the atomic bomb was. They had no idea. They thought, oh, in the name of God? We know that word. God, that's good. Sure, if it's for God, come on in and do it. And that island, Bikini Island, a lot of them say that the island is off limits for 30,000 years, Fred.
Oh, my God.
We want to light off 60 lanterns into the sky, and for every year in remembrance of all the people that perished, all the Marshallese, and the homes and the lives that were lost, that it never happened again. Bring attention, call attention to it.
Well, we've got 53 seconds, and I just want to wish you all the best, certainly on 9 Degrees North.
9 Degrees North.
And that's what's available today, and that's what's available at paper, every place. Where is it available? We know it's available.
It's available on Amazon.com.
Okay.
And if you want to contact us, you can reach us at my email, mike@bayouth.com.
Okay.
BAYOUTH, mike@bayouth.com. Email us, contact us, get the book on Amazon.